our Wednesday evening practice. I'm Eliza, you're going to be happy, and tonight it is the end of an era. It's the final one of our YouTube live stream classes, so thankfully we have a huge raft for you to choose from in the future if you would like. But as of next week we will be going a little bit more interactive as we hopefully, fingers crossed, start our Zoom session. So please do keep in touch for all the information there, yogamehappy.co.uk. And without further ado, we will start our live stream session this evening. So hopefully you will enjoy it. There's not much you need for this evening. If you usually have a prop, then obviously have it nearby. But just an open mind and a nice gentle smile, and we will begin our practice. So we're going to come down into child's pose this evening to shed off any of the tensions of the day. So coming down onto your mat, knees underneath the hips, underneath the hips, hip width apart, toes together, heels open, and nestling the bottom into those heels. Wriggling the belly down into the middle of those thighs as you bring your elbows down and drop the forehead down. So if the forehead doesn't reach, please do bring the hands or fists underneath the head, or maybe a block or a cushion, just that you have something to rest the centre of your eyebrows onto. So I won't rest there, I'll just come up to talk to you. But just as you're resting in your child's pose, make any minute adjustments to make a really comfortable space for your body. A gentle wriggle of the hips, maybe a rock of the shoulders, maybe even just gently moving the head from left to right to ease out through your neck before we come to rest in the center line and allow the body to relax in this comfortable space for a moment. Now, halfway through the week, and things are changing within lockdown regimes and God knows what. So, as always, we are generally in a state of flux at this point in the week. So just taking that on board of being kind to your body, being kind to your thought processes, being kind to how you're feeling at the moment, that energetic space around your heart. Take a moment to acknowledge all of these points as we rest here, and start to allow the body to slow down, allow the breath to come deeper into the back body, all along the sides of the rib cage, to open up and start to release a little bit of that tension before we begin. Noticing whether perhaps the shoulders are feeling particularly tight, maybe the hips, maybe the space around the knees. Again, whatever is true for you should be incorporated into our practice this evening, being kind to those spaces, nourishing them with your breath. And noticing that longer, deeper inhale as we slow things down. Allowing the body again to fall just deeply into the mat as you release and relax here. And as we do so, we don't always set an intention for our practice, but this evening's practice is going to be one for giving strength to someone around you that perhaps is in need of it. Some member of your family, maybe of your workforce, one of your friends. Just taking a moment to acknowledge them, be thankful for them, and drawing your own strength from this as we come into our practice this evening. Taking a nice big breath into the center of the back body, and as you exhale, big open mouth sigh. Before we start to reach those hands forward, so keeping the head low if it's not already on the floor, stretching the arms out, lifting the elbows up, creeping the fingertips forward, and then coming up to Spider-Man hands, so just the fingertips pushing down into the floor. Big breath in, and again as you exhale, big sigh, pushing through those fingertips and drawing the tailbone down and away from you. Nice long breaths here, filling up the back of the lungs.
Again, really big soft sigh to open the body. Acknowledge any tight spaces and really expand and release as you next inhale. And then gently sigh it out. Planting the hands all the way down into the floor now, wriggling the fingertips, wriggling the palms. And on the inhale breath, we're going to come up onto all fours. Exhale here through the mouth, pushing through the heels of the hands. Inhale into an upward cat. Nice and open through the chest, through the collarbones, squeezing elbows. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, lifting that space in between the shoulder blades, nice and long through the neck. Inhale, breath to come forward and up. Again, as you draw those elbows in, squeezing shoulder blades back and together, notice any tight spaces. Exhale, rounding out, lengthening through the neck. Still focusing on upper body, inhale to open up. Chest expanding. Again, notice the space around the rib cage. Exhale, push away through the floor and lift the space in the upper back. One more, focusing on upper body. Inhale, opening up the chest, squeezing elbows, drawing shoulders back. And as you exhale, pushing floor away and lifting up in between those shoulder blades. This time as you inhale, think about the tailbone lifting as high up away from the floor as possible, really arching into the low spine. And then as you exhale again, rounding out through that tailbone, tucking it under as tightly as you possibly can, pushing even through the heels of the hands to send the weight slightly backwards. Inhale again to open up, lifting up through the tailbone, really arching through the spine. Notice the belly. Is there any tension around the digestive system? Sometimes there is when we're feeling a little bit anxious. Tucking tailbone under as you exhale. Again, nice and long through low spine. Inhale, breath. One more, focusing on the lower body. Nice and long, nice and open. Lifting out through the tailbone, squeezing into that space above the pelvis. And then exhaling, rounding out. Coming into our neutral back body now. Before we tuck the toes under, pushing through heels of hands. As you exhale, taking it up into a nice bent knee downward dog. Really pushing through those heels of the hands to send the weight backwards. Again, keep the knees nice and bent, nice and soft, so that we're not jarring the hamstrings. Nice big breaths across the back of the shoulder blades. Big breath in. Big sigh out. And then from here we're going to bend the left elbow and bring it down onto the floor. Nice gentle way to start practice, right? Walking the right fingertips forward, get a nice long stretch through that right hand side. Still pushing into the heel of the hand on that right hand side, even though you've walked the fingertips forward. And then from here we're going to really anchor the left heel closer to the floor. So bending into that right knee. Big breath in. Big sigh out. Still pushing down through the left heel as you lift up through right foot. Doesn't matter how high up, just feeling a nice point to stretch. As you lift, feeling balanced here, grinding down through that left heel. Bringing right foot towards left sit bone, bending kneecap up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to take 3 wide circles with that right knee. So nice big wide circles, still keeping the toes close towards that left bum cheek. So it'll be nice and wide just through the knee, opening up through the hip. And then once you've done your 3, we're going to place that foot back down onto the floor. Sliding right hand back slightly as you push up into downward dog. A gentle sway through the hips. And then bending through that right elbow. Again, as you bring it down onto the floor, we're walking the left fingertips forward to stretch out through that left hand side. And then we're going to push down into the right heel to really anchor through the back of that right Achilles, just checking in with the back of the leg. And bending into the left knee, so there's not much weight on the left foot. Big breath in and out here, stretching out through upper body. And then on the inhale, stretch the left foot up and back. Again, as you draw the left toes over towards that right sit bone, lifting kneecap nice and high, We're going to take 3 big circles. Really long, deep, open breaths here. Last one. Extending out through that left leg again, and then planting the foot down onto the floor. Walking the left hand back, lifting back up into a downward dog, big breath in. And then as you exhale, drop the knees, come down into Balasana. So as you're down in Balasana, just rolling around through your wrists, keeping the head low to the floor if it's not touching the floor. Maybe stick a pillow underneath it if you need to. Rolling out through those wrists the other way. Noticing here how that feels for your wrists. Are they feeling a little bit tight today? And then splaying the fingertips as wide as you possibly can. And then making fists with those hands. Again, splaying the hands as wide as you can, stretching out through fingers. And then making fists again. Again, from here, we're going to walk those fingertips forward, taking long arms, lifting elbows, planting the hands in, big breath in, big sigh out, and on the in-breath, lifting up onto all fours. As you exhale, tuck toes, and lift up into our downward dog. Again, keeping knees nice and soft first of all. A gentle sway from left to right, bending and stretching into each leg. And then on the next inhale, we're going to lift up high onto toes. As you exhale, pull down through those heels. Bending through the knees, gazing between the hands, just stepping your right foot in between the hands. As you draw down through the hips, lift up high onto fingertips and come into runner's lunge. So nice and open across the collarbones, back through the shoulder blades, lifting up through left thigh bone, pulling back through right hip as you draw the centre of the chest forward. Big breath in. Big sigh out, no tension in right toes. Staying on fingertips, inhale, right arm lifts, shoulders come back into sockets. Exhale, right fingertips come down. Inhale, left arm lifts, shoulders back. Exhale, left full palm comes down. Inhale, sweep right arm forward, lift it all the way over the head, circling behind you and bringing hand into the base of the spine, into your sacrum. Rolling right shoulder up, back and down. Drawing the right hip behind you. See if you can let the right kneecap fall a little out to the side. Don't worry about how much you're letting it fall. Just seeing if you can get a nice big twist through lower body. Big breath in. Big sigh out. Inhale, lift right arm all the way up. Draw right foot down onto the floor and plant the hand down. Take left foot to meet the right. Inhale up halfway, nice big lift through the chest, shoulders down. As you exhale, bend the knees to fold. Take a moment here, just feeling heavy through the head, heavy through the shoulders. Nice big breath in, big sigh out. And then rolling yourself up. Again, nice heavy head, heavy shoulders. And then reset shoulder roll up, back and down when you reach the top. As you inhale, bending the knees, sweeping the arms out and up, nice big lift. And as you exhale, tracing the front of the body with the prayer. Fingertips, inhale up halfway. Exhale, bend the knees to fold. Plant the hands down, taking right foot back, and then drawing those shoulders up, back and down. Again, open through the chest, nice and long and open through those collarbones. Planting hands in, left foot back into plank, a big breath in. As you exhale, knees chin chest or knees full body, whichever one is available to you tonight. Untuck your toes and then come forward into our low cobra. Shoulders back, elbows nice and tight. Big breath in here. Big sigh out, drop it all the way down onto the floor. Tucking toes. Inhale, breath coming back into quarter dog. And then exhale, breath, downward dog. Again, a nice big sway of the hips, a bend and stretch of each leg. Opening into the back of those shoulders. And then next inhale, lift up high onto toes. Exhale, down through the heels. Bending knees, gazing between hands. Inhale, left foot comes forward. Again, we're going to drop those hips, come up higher onto fingertips, opening through collarbone, shoulders moving their way back. Right thigh this time lifting and elevating up away from the floor. Left hip moving back into the back of the mat. Big breath in. Big sigh out. No tension in left toes, staying on fingertips. Inhale, left arm lifts, shoulders back. Exhale, fingertips come down. Inhale, right arm lifts, shoulders back. Exhale, full palm underneath right shoulder. Inhale, sweeping left arm all the way forward. Take a nice long circle all the way open. Hand into low spine. Again, a big roll of that shoulder open. And maybe we let the left knee come out to the side a little as that left hip starts to really pull round towards the right side of the mat. Big breath in and out here. And then inhale, that left arm sweeps all the way over. And then that left hand comes down. Again, a roll of the shoulders up, back and down. Right foot comes to meet the left. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, bend the knees to fold. Again, just hanging out here, allowing the head to fall down towards the floor, the neck to be long, the softness to upper body. And then rolling your way up, nice and slow, nice and steady. Again, a roll of the shoulders as you reach the top. Bending knees, inhale, sweeping arms out and up, lift. As you exhale, tracing the front of the body with the breath. Halfway lift here. Exhale, bend the knees to fold. Inhale, left foot comes back. Again, just a gentle softening into our runner's lunge before we take right foot back into plank. Big breath in. As you exhale, drop knees, maybe chin, chest, maybe whole body, untuck toes. Inhale into low cobra, shoulders coming back. Big breath in. Big sigh out. One more big breath in. And then release the whole body down. Tucking toes, inhale, quarter dog. Exhale, downward dog. Again, a nice big breath in and out here. Softening through upper body. Maybe that means bending into the knees slightly. Taking the weight away from the shoulders, nice and long through those arms. And then from here, planting left heel into the floor. As you inhale, lifting right foot all the way up. Again, we're opening up through the hip tonight, so really nice big long stretch up into those right toes. And as you exhale, bend into that left knee. Take the right foot to the left edge of the mat. So if you can, bring the big toe edge of the foot to the left edge of that mat. So the right foot is on the left edge of the mat. And we're going to bend into those knees. Come up onto the board of the left foot. The whole of the right foot is down. And as you come up, we're still crossing over at the knees. And we're going to roll our way up into what would be eagle legs. When we come up, sweeping the arms out and up. And as you exhale, sitting down a little deeper and bringing left arm underneath the right. Crossing into eagle arms, either hands on shoulders, backs of hands or double wrapping, just crossing at the elbows. Inhale, lifting those elbows. And as you exhale, sinking a little deeper into those hips. Maybe we're taking the left toes up and double wrapping around the calf, just making sure hip bones are pointing towards the front of your mat. Nice big lift in the elbows as you inhale, a softness to the thighs as you exhale. And then from here, the toes come back down onto the floor. As you inhale, sweep the arms out and up. And we're going to push into that left heel. Grabbing hold of your right wrist with your left hand. You're going to gently sway over to the left side as you push more weight onto the inside of that left foot.
So nice long lift, stretching up through that right hand side. Gentle breaths here. And then inhale back into center, nice and tall. As you exhale, we're going to bend through both knees and we're going to sit down into a chair pose. So again, it's kind of eagle legs. Those hips are going back, the shoulders are coming down. Big breath in. And then we're going to hinge from the hips, keeping upper body nice and straight. You're going to see if you can reach towards the front edge of the mat and bring the body parallel to the floor for a moment. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, fingertips come down. We're going to walk those fingertips forward back into our down dog shape with crossed legs. Push the left heel down onto the floor, left heel down onto the floor, and unhook the right leg. Again, we're going to lift that right foot up towards the ceiling. Big breath in. Big sigh out. One more inhale here. And as you exhale, bring the right knee high in towards heart center and heel toe in between the hands. Don't worry if you can't quite heel toe. Lift it and move it so it's underneath the right knee. From here, we're going to come up into a standing split to stretch the other leg. So bring the fingertips forward by about a foot and lift that left set of toes nice and high. Head comes in towards the right knee. As always, the option to take your right hand behind the ankle to draw you a little bit closer. Big breath in. And then fingertips down if they're not already there. Bend slightly into the right foot because we're going to bring the left foot about 2 feet behind your right foot, but still in the line of its hip. So the left foot is not directly behind the right foot. We're out to the side slightly, out to the left slightly. And then we're going to walk those fingertips back as we bend into your left knee and lift your right toes for a nice hamstring stretch. I say nice, you get my gist. Right hip is coming back, bending into left knee, right toes lift. So nice and low with the chest. If you want to take it a little bit further, I'm sure you do, your hands can go behind you in aeroplane. Shoulders back, heart forward. Bending even further into left knee. And then fingertips come down to support you into pyramid. Right foot comes down now. Again, chest is lifting, bringing it forward. Right hip is pushing back. Again, if you can't reach the floor, don't worry, just bring your hands onto your hips. It's more about the hip position. So right hip pushing back, chest reaching forward. Big breath in. Big sigh out. Maybe allow the body to come over that right thigh. Still with chest lifting. And then from here, bending into that right foot, hop the left foot to meet it as you inhale up halfway. Exhale, bend the knees to fold. Your choice, reverse swan dive or rolling up, depending if you're feeling lightheaded, just roll up, take a nice big inhale breath. And then exhale, hands into prayer. Inhale, take the arms up, take your prayer up, and as you exhale, reverse swan dive forward. Again, that inhale up halfway, lifting chest. Exhale, bend the knees to fold. Allow the hands to come beside the feet as you take your right toes back, rolling shoulders open into our runner's lunge. Big breath in, big sigh out. Left foot back into plank, your choice. Maybe you do a vinyasa, maybe not, maybe meet in child's pose even. Exhale. Opening up the chest if we're inhaling into up dog or cobra. Exhaling, bringing the belly button in towards the spine to support into your downward dog. So 3 long breaths in your down dog. Inhaling through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Last one, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then if you're in child's pose, come and meet us back in down dog. We're going to anchor that right foot again into the floor. So really pushing down through the right heel. You might even need to bring it forward slightly to accommodate any tightness in the Achilles. And then on the inhale breath, left foot comes nice and high up towards the sky. So really big stretch out through that left hip. Nice and long and open through the whole of that left side. Taking really big long breaths here, stretching out through the shoulders too. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to bend into that right knee. Bring the left foot onto the right edge of the mat. So again, the big toe side of that foot should be roughly in line with the outer edge of your right side of the mat. And then you're going to bend into those knees as you walk yourself back. Nice and slow and steady. You're coming up onto the ball of your right foot, but the whole of the left foot is on the floor. The right leg is over that left knee as you roll yourself up. Again, that's eagle legs. And then as you inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. As you exhale, right elbow underneath the left. Either hands on shoulders, double wrap, or backs of hands, up to you. Next inhale, lifting elbows. As you exhale, sitting just that little bit deeper into our eagle pose. Maybe we're taking the right toes off and double wrapping the foot, maybe not. Just making sure hip bones are pointing towards the front edge of your mat. Softening just that little bit deeper. Lifting the elbows just that little bit higher. So nice big breaths here, finding softness to those thighs. And then on the inhale, going to take those arms out and up, straightening through the legs, bringing the right inner foot now down onto the floor. As you grab hold of the left wrist with the right hand and push your weight into the inside of that right foot and take the hands over towards the right hand side. So nice big banana shape with the body, pushing out through the left hip, lifting up through that left arm. Again, long, even flow of breath here. And then on the inhale, coming back into center. Back down into chair pose, eagle legs. So sending the hips back, shoulders come down. Nice big breath in and out. And then can we bend the knees even further and send the chest forward into our parallel with the floor body before we bring the fingertips all the way down. Again, as you walk those hands forward, I'm going to put more pressure on the right foot, so we come back into our down dog to unhook the left leg and lift it all the way up again. Nice big stretch out through that side. Big breath in and out. And then as you exhale, take the left knee nice and high, heel toe the foot in between the hand. Again, make sure you move it if you need to, but the left knee needs to be over that left ankle. We're going to shift the hands forward by about a foot to come up into standing split. So right leg lifts, head comes towards that left kneecap. And again, if you want to, left hand can come behind the ankle to draw the head just that little bit closer. Nice long breaths. And then bending, softening into that left knee, I should say, to take the right foot around 2 feet behind the left to come into our hamstring stretch. So walking fingertips back, bending into right knee, lifting left toes. Again, it's about your hip position rather than anything else. So left hip is pulling its way back. See if you can slightly drag the back of that left heel towards you to feel that hamstring stretch as you lift your chest forward.
Again, those gentle breaths here, moving forward through the chest, back through the hip. And then you're going to flatten that left foot down onto the floor as you lift the chest once more for pyramid. And again, don't worry if you can't reach the floor and make a good shape for your body. Bring your hands up onto your waist to make that happen. Again, the left hip is moving back, right hip is moving forward, and chest is lifting over the thighs. Nice big breath in. Maybe as you sigh it out, you roll the belly over that left thigh. Really pulling the left hip back. Find that nice long stretch for your leg. And then softening the left foot, taking right foot to meet the left. And then as you exhale, gently bend and fold. Your choice, reverse swan dive or rolling up as you inhale. And then exhale, bringing hands into prayer. Raising that prayer, opening the chest, and then exhaling, swan diving forward. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, bend the knees to fold. Plant the hands, left foot comes back, again into our runner's lunge, shoulders back, dipping hips a little. Before we take that right foot back into plank. Again, your choice of vinyasa, taking it slowly, using your breath, and finding whichever is the best one for you this evening. Wherever we are, 3 long breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Last one, in through the nose, out through the mouth. This time, right foot up and lift, but flexing the foot, so no higher than the hip. Big breath in. As you exhale, lifting right knee nice and high, heel toe the foot, left heel down. Inhale for warrior one. Oh, she says. Nice and open through the chest, and as you exhale, sinking down through the hips, down through the shoulders. Inhale to broaden the chest a little as you open up, and as you exhale, plant the hands. Take the right foot back into downward dog, a gentle sway of the hips. Inhale, left foot up and back. Exhale, hug it nice and high. Heel to the foot, right heel down. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, soften hips, soften shoulders. Broaden the chest, open the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, hands. Inhale, left foot back. A gentle sway to reset. Inhale, right foot comes up, flexing. Exhale, hug it nice and high. Heel to the foot. Left heel down. Inhale up, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Heel toe that right foot into the center line, slightly softening out through upper body. Again, that nice big inhale, following by that right softening of the right shoulder. Nice and long through that stretch between fingertips. Right arm, right knee, circle left arm underneath, and continue that circle all the way over and back. 2 more of those. Inhale forward, following it with your gaze if you can. Exhale it out. Last one. Inhale and exhale. This time as you inhale, take the whole body up into reverse warrior. Exhale to soften into the right thigh. Inhale up here. As you exhale, right hand comes down, left hand comes to join. Right foot back, downward dog. Inhale, left foot up and back. Exhale, hug it nice and high. Heel to the foot, right heel down. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Again, maybe heel toeing that left foot into the right side a little. Softening out through left shoulder, feeling stretch from fingertip to fingertip.
Left arm, left knee. Circle right arm underneath. Inhaling it up and over. And exhaling it down. Another 2. Inhale all the way up. Exhale to soften it back. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. This time we're inhaling and taking the whole body with. For reverse warrior, exhale, softening through left thigh. Get a nice big lift through that side. And then inhaling, cartwheeling arms, bringing the hands down, left foot back, downward dog. Again, a gentle sway here. Inhale up high onto toes, exhale down through the heels. Big breath in. Big sigh out. Bending through the knees, gazing between the hands, jumping or stepping. In between the hands, allow the head to fall. Inhale up halfway. And then bend the knees, bringing the belly onto the thighs and keeping the belly onto the thighs as you take your hands behind your heels. See if you can bring the inner elbows behind your kneecaps so everything is as tight as you can make it. Keeping the belly as close to the thighs as possible. Try not to let it lift. Tuck the head to look towards the knees and start to lift the bottom, but still keeping that belly onto the thighs. So the legs may not be straight. We have that nice deep stretch. Again, really big breaths in and out here. Drawing head closer, maybe lifting bottom higher, maybe not. And then bringing the fingertips down onto the floor as you come up onto the balls of your feet. Lifting the heels nice and high. Bringing the body in line, in parallel with the floor. Big breath in. Big sigh out. And then aeroplaning those arms. Heels down. Inhale to lift the body all the way up. Pushing into those heels as you lift the pelvis nice and high. As you exhale, we're going to bend those knees again, lift those heels again, and bring the body down. Hands onto the center. Bring the feet a little bit wider for our Malasana squat. So I'll come and turn and face you. So if you need to, maybe keep the heels up or maybe prop something underneath those heels, a rolled up yoga mat or some cushions. Hopefully, the wider your legs get, the more that likely they'll come down onto the floor. Hands into prayer at heart. Inner arms onto the inside of those knees. And then as you inhale, bring the hands down into the center of the chest. So thumbs onto the breastbone to open up those inner thighs. Shoulders down, drawing tailbone down towards the floor, feeling grounded here. Closing the eyes down. Taking some deep breaths to really open across the chest line. Breathing into the back of the heart space, visualizing that breath coming in through the nostrils and moving its way around the heart. Opening and expanding that space across the chest, across the back. One more big breath in and out. Blinking those eyelids open, and if you can bear it, the right arm hugs in underneath that right knee, out to the side, and then unhook left arm and open up through the chest. Shoulder coming back, hand is lifted above that shoulder, not behind it. Big breath in and out. See if you can push that right arm into the knee to open up a little further. And then rehook left arm underneath left knee out to the side and unhook right arm. Again, shoulder is coming back and the hand is above the shoulder. Nice big breath in and out. And then gently release, bring it back down. So
I hope you've all noticed the cover photo of our Bakasana crow pose. I'm going to turn back towards the front of the mat. If you know crow pose, carry on, just go into your crow and practice for a bit. Middle finger points towards the top edge of the mat. Hands are super open, shoulder width apart. Inner elbows turn to face the ceiling so that they are hugging in towards the body. Keep them bent, lifting the body, keeping those elbows bent and tight, bringing knees onto the upper part of the outer edge of your arm. Looking forward, no looking down, because your head is very heavy. That means it will fall towards the floor. So no need to look down, just looking forward. Start to shift the weight. Again, no need to bounce. Shifting the weight further forward. The more you shift it, maybe we lift one set of toes and then put it down. Maybe we lift the other and then put it down. Seeing how that feels, or maybe we lift both. And taking a few breaths, making a few little plays with our Bakasana. And then coming to stretch out. So bringing the heels down onto the floor, wider than hip width apart, around about mat width apart. And walking those fingertips forward, tucking the head to look between the knees. So it's like a really short down dog. Pushing into the heels. Stretching the fingertips forward, keep walking them forward, but keep moving the sit bones backwards. Nice long breaths in and out here. And then gently sitting your way back onto the floor. Taking the legs out in front of you, give them a little wiggle, giving your wrists a little roll, and then crossing the legs so that we can just do a couple of hand stretches before we forget about those after Bakasana. So taking your, it doesn't matter which hand, taking your palm away from you and bringing the other set of fingertips onto the inside of those fingers. So really pushing the heel of the hand, the inner wrist, away from you as you draw those fingertips back towards you. Nice big breath in. Big sigh out. Pushing away through the inside of that wrist. And then we turn that same hand the other way. So again, the outer wrist is going to be pushing away from you as you take the fingertips in towards you. Big breath in. Big sigh out, pushing outer wrist away. And then we're going to take the thumb down to the inside of that wrist. So nice big breath in, nothing too forceful, just using your breath to pull the thumb closer towards the wrist. And then shake out through that hand and come onto the other side. So again, fingertips onto the inside of the other fingertips. Inner wrist is pushing away from you, big breath in. Big sigh out, push away. And then changing to the other side. Again, outer wrist this time, big breath in. Big sigh out, push away. And then thumb coming towards the inside of that hand. So big breath in. Big sigh out. And then shake out through those hands. Maybe another couple of wrist rolls depending on how you're feeling. Okay. So from here, coming to come down onto your back. So feet hip width apart, reaching those arms forward, hugging your belly in and rolling yourself down as slowly as you possibly can. One vertebra at a time, tucking tailbone underneath. Nice and slow, nice and steady, nice and gentle. And then when you come down, rolling those shoulders up, back and down. So making sure that you've got a little bit of space behind you, because we're going to come into Halasana plow pose with our legs over our head, hopefully. Don't get too freaked out about that. If not, don't worry, we have alternatives, all is good. But just making sure that you're not going to kick the cat or some kind of ornament off the shelf before we come into it. So draw your knees in towards your chest. Just give yourself a little bunny hop to release the low back, and bring the hands around the knees, rocking from left to right. Just to ease out through that low spine.
So we've done quite a lot of work on the legs. I'm going to put a little bit of work onto the shoulders and the back too. So we're going to take those knees in towards your eye sockets, just above your eye sockets. A little bit of pressure with those knees. If you can come up off your hips, that is. So by that I mean coming up off the hips and bringing those knees just above the eyebrows, maybe supporting with the hands or maybe clasping the hands away from you. Don't worry if you're not feeling that this evening, you can just raise your hands and legs up in our squash frog dead bug pose, just to let the blood drain from those limbs. If you've got your knees into your eye sockets, not too much pressure of course, just take a moment here, nice big breath in, and then as you exhale, allow those legs to straighten over the head, maybe even finding the toes on the floor behind you, maybe even wriggling the shoulders nice and tight, clasping the hands away and pointing those index fingers away from you. Really long breaths in and out here. And finding that length to upper body. Finding that really big extension around the back of the neck, around the shoulders. Try not to let the breath get too compromised. And then again, if you want to support yourself up into shoulder stand, and that is available to you, then that is fine too. If you are up in shoulder stand, see if you can push the balls of the feet up towards the ceiling. You can always, as an alternative, do legs up the walls as well. A slow, steady breath. So a couple more breaths in shoulder stand, and then when you're ready, bringing the knees back towards the forehead, hands coming down, and then slowly unfurling the body as gracefully as you can. Again, one vertebrae at a time. And if you're in our dead bug, squash, frog position, you can come out of it too. Give yourself a little wriggle up the mat if you need to. And then a really big stretch, so grabbing hold of right wrist with left hand. Give yourself a gentle pull as you breathe in. Stretching to the toes, and then big sigh out to release. Coming onto the other side, stretching as you breathe in. And then huge sigh out to release. And then coming onto bridge pose. So bringing the heels of the feet as close towards the bottom as you possibly can. Hands planting their way down beside you. And on your inhale breath, drawing everything in and up as you push down through the whole of the pads of the feet. So again, we can roll those shoulders underneath if you want to, clasping hands or grabbing hold of heels. But wherever we are, just take note of how much pressure is on the big toe side of your feet. See if you can slightly roll the knees towards the center to even out the pressure on the feet. Again, extending your breath here. Finding length and space in your breath around the chest. One more big breath in. And then as you exhale, just allow the arms to float beside you, maybe lifting the heels as you roll yourself down onto the floor. Again, we're hugging knees in towards the chest for a moment. This time, maybe little circles around your low spine. So just moving the kneecaps in circles. And then coming back the other way. And then keeping hold of your right knee, extending your left leg up towards the ceiling as you circle through your ankle. Again, really nice slow circles, couple of times one way, couple of times the other way. Keeping hold of that length to the leg, so really pushing away through left heel, Opening up through the back of the kneecap and extending that leg all the way down towards the floor. So taking your time about it, nice and open through the hip. See if we can keep that length to the back of the knee. And then when you reach the floor, pushing the left thigh bone down towards the floor. Keeping hold of the right knee with the left hand and either cactus the right arm, or you can extend it all the way out as you guide that right knee over to the left hand side. Rolling right shoulder up, back and down, and turning to look towards that right wrist. As always with our spinal twists, if you need to, you can move that right kneecap away from you. That should hopefully make it easier on that side, or you can move it closer if it feels like it needs a bit more of a stretch. And you can close your eyes down just to get a sense of your body, of where your breath wants to go, of what's feeling particularly tight, of where you might need to compromise your position to get the best out of it. Seeing if we can find a depth to your breath. Again, sometimes we're so twisted in these positions that our breath is not able to get anywhere near to our digestive system, which is what we're trying to compress and release, and also that space around the lower back. So again, just easing off slightly if you need to. And then when you're ready, on the inhale breath, coming back into the center, give that right kneecap a little hug, big breath in, big sigh out, draw it even closer, and then bring left kneecap to join. Changing your hand grip, bringing it around that left knee as you extend the right ankle up to the ceiling. Again, a gentle roll of that ankle, a couple of times one way, a couple of times the other way. And then pushing away with that right heel, nice and open through the back of the knee. As you exhale, keep extending that right foot forward as you bring it down towards the floor. And when it touches the floor, pushing your right thigh bone all the way down into the mat. Cactusing or extending left arm as you guide your left knee over to the right hand side. Again, as you twist, rolling that left shoulder up, back and down, so you're really anchoring it into the floor as you turn to face towards left wrist. And again, when you close your eyes, notice, is there too much pressure on the inside of that left groin? Is it really hard to keep your body still? Is it feeling like it's juddering, the muscles are constricting the movement or the breath? So if you do, just move that body just slightly to compensate for that and allow your body to soften as you breathe. Expanding with the inhale, softening and releasing with the exhale. And then next inhale, again we're coming back into the center. Holding onto that left knee and giving it a nice big hug. And then joining it with the right. Again, maybe a little bunny hop, a gentle circle. A couple of times one way, a couple of times the other way. Before we take both feet up towards the ceiling and stretch out through the back of those feet. Toes pointing down towards the body. Nice big breath in and out here. And then bending those knees beside you as you bring your hands to the outer edge of the feet for happy baby. So nice big drawing down of the shoulders, of the hips. Try not to let the sit bones lift up as you draw those kneecaps down beside you. And then a gentle rock from left to right. Nice big stretch on the inside of the groin, the inside of those thighs. And then bringing everything inwards as you draw the head in towards the knees, shoulders in towards the ears. Tighten every single muscle up in the body, all the way through the face, pointing the toes. Big breath in. Big sigh out into Savasana. And as always, if there are any adjustments to your Savasana, please do make them. Maybe we need to bring the knees up if your lower back is feeling tight. Or maybe you want to round angle it. However you feel this evening, come into a nice relaxed space for you. Closing the eyes down, maybe even giving yourself that little eye massage, a smoothing of the eyebrows until you reach the temples before you take a gentle circle around those temples. Get a nice big smoothing of those eyebrows from the inside to the outside and a roll around the temples. Before we take those hands beside the body, allowing those toes to fall open, the legs to be heavy and relaxed. No tension through the back of the knees, the thighs, softening and releasing as they fall towards the earth. A sense of ease through the back of the hips, through the low spine. Back of the rib cage feeling supported, surrendering shoulders, back of the head, the neck into the earth. A soft, easy breath moving freely through the body. No tension through the muscles of the face as you come to rest your awareness on the center of the eyebrows. Starting to deepen the breath as you stretch out through fingers and toes, rolling through wrists and ankles, maybe licking the lips, maybe swallowing, taking head from left to right. Sweeping the arms over the head, clasping the fingers today and pushing away through those palms as you breathe in. Big soft sigh to breathe out. Rolling to the right, taking a moment to steady the body. And then only when you're ready, still with eyes closed if you can, coming up to our comfortable cross-legged seat. Coming to rest with the hands, palms face up into the lap. As we come into this final section, take a moment to acknowledge our practice today. Take a moment to remember our intention of that person around you that needs that extra strength, and taking your own strength from this donation of your time and your thought. coming away from the mat as an open, well-rounded person filled with light and love. Bringing the palms together, rubbing them to Moon. Placing those hands as cups over the eyes. Blinking eyelids open in the darkness as you bring the hands down into prayer. Namaste, everybody. Thank you very much for watching our lovely live stream yoga class this evening. I hope you enjoyed it, and all of the rest of them. And as always, if you liked it, please do give it a little thumbs up and a comment if you have the time. And as always, donations are hugely welcome, and you can find the link below to our website where you can donate and also find out more information about future classes, and hopefully still we might be able to do our Lloyd Park outdoor classes this Sunday if the weather holds. So fingers crossed for that, and hopefully I will see you guys very soon. Thank you very much and enjoy your evening. Namaste.